Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. It is Christian here, and you are tuned in for more of my 2 cents. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. Thank you so much for coming over here, where we embark on a journey that explores the intricate tapestries of faith, spirituality, and the process of deconstruction through the lens of Christianity. Now, if you're joining me, I hope you're prepared to engage in thought-provoking discussions, delve into the complexities of religious beliefs, and navigate the paths of questioning and reconstruction. Whether you're seeking to deepen your understanding of the faith or exploring the realms of deconstruction within the Christian context, this channel is a space for open dialogue, introspection, and a compassionate exploration of the intersections between belief, doubt, and discovery. So let's embark on this transformative journey together. But before we do that, there are 3 points that matter most before I start any discussion or dialogue. Number one, you're not alone. Number two, you're not crazy. And number three, God, your creator, so loves you, and I do too. Whew, child, what an intro, what an intro. It is going to be a great topic today because we have a viewer question and email that I am going to be reading and responding to. Um, I just got to say, I'm grateful every time you all send me an email. I may not get to it as quickly as I want to, but I do read them and I do try to place them in my content creation calendar, but I really don't have a calendar. Let's just be real. I honestly record when I feel led. I'm gonna say this one more time for the people. Okay. I record when I feel led. I don't record just because I can, just because I have a mic and a computer and a YouTube channel. I don't just do it because I can do it. I like to really have purpose. I like to feel it. I like to be in a good headspace where I can clearly think and articulate my feelings about what I'm going to speak on. I am very how do I say this? Selective now with my voice because I've come to realize that we all have a lot of power. We all have opinions, but everything does not deserve a response that may take me out of certain headspace or a certain energy level. And so I don't respond to everything. I don't think that everything will become a video, maybe because YouTube is not like a source of income for me yet. But I try to be as authentic and organic with the content as possible to make sure I'm not just on here because I can be on here, but I'm on here with purpose. And it's something that you all can enjoy and something that does provoke thought and discussions beyond the video. So today that's what we will be talking about. We will be doing a viewer email response. But before we do that, I want to welcome the returning 2 centers. Hey, y'all. Hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in again today. We're growing, okay? We're growing, and more people are joining and finding the channel, subscribing. Hopefully, if you are new here, you'll click around, stick around, and join because we would love to add you to the 2 cents crew. There are a lot of things happening in society. There are a lot of things happening in the religious sector, in the church world, specifically the Christian evangelical space. There are a lot of people who have been, posting videos and reposting videos from prophets and seers who are saying that we're in the end times, that God is soon, to come and return, that we're already in the end times and God is coming back. And this, the start of that is already happening and unfolding. Yeah, and I'm only mentioning this. This is not what the video is about, but it is in part related to it because I have to tell you all that internally I am so disconnected from that world that that stuff doesn't even shift, shake, or bother me anymore. Like I don't feel like I scramble to figure out how to get my life right when I hear that stuff or see it. At this point, I'm kind of concerned for people who are still drinking the Kool-Aid pouches because they're not cups. Okay, these people ain't even buying cups no more. They just giving y'all the Capri Sun pouches of Kool-Aid for convenience. But yeah, and maybe I'll do a video on it. I don't know, but I just want to encourage you guys to continue to live your life. Continue to live your life. Continue to walk in the peace, in the joy that you have. If you're not doing wrong, if you're not hurting others, you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to worry about. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and get into today's email. All right. We're going to leave you anonymous, but she has written in before. Okay. All right. So it starts by saying, "Hi, Christian. Thank you so much for helping last year in regard to church hurt as an elder's daughter. I just have a quick question. I have been trying to find answers or people that can help me, but I'm not sure if they truly understand how I feel. So I'm not thinking of taking myself out anymore, thank God, but I have been having a fear of death. Since deconstructing out the mental stronghold that is the church, my mind is definitely open. However, I am now realizing that death is final. I mean, I know death is final, but I am now living in fear of dying. To be completely honest, I didn't expect to live this long. I'm 44, not because of dying early, but because of the blanking rapture. Sorry to say it like that, but the rapture had me in a chokehold for years. Somehow, it was easier to believe the delusion of the church, but reality has set in that once you're dead, you're dead. Like there's no backsies, no more life on this earth. It's almost like thinking that at any time my life could be over. And now that has me in a chokehold. Am I making sense? It's as if I'm not, it's as if I'm noticing everything and now becoming even more hyper vigilant, hypersensitive about everything because I don't want to die. How do I work through this? In your deconstruction, do you have any thoughts like this? Thank you for your time. Okay, y'all ready to get into this? Are get the snacks, get the drinks, buckle up, because I'm about to share what I think. Because again, this is my 2 cents. So, first of all, thank you so much for sending in um, this question. This is not a topic to be taken lightly. I did not take any notes. Um, I want to be able to respond to this top of dome, like straight from where I am present day. But first, before I do that, y'all know I have a model that I like to follow when breaking down anything as it relates to deconstruction. So, what is my background? What is the history of it? And where am I present day on that? And then, like, a where do we go from here kind of thought process and all of the things. Now, it is very imperative that we all know that if you grew up in holiness, the black church, or even not the black church, but the evangelical church or whatever, that the rapture is a real belief and a real study. All right. And y'all know if I don't do nothing else, what am I going to do? Give y'all a definition. All right. So let me go ahead and look this up so I can help y'all. Okay. All right. Um, I think I think that it's important because there are two meanings. Okay? So rapture by definition in the dictionary is the state of mind resulting from feelings of high emotion, joyous ecstasy, okay? An expression of ecstatic joy. I'm going to read this again. The rapture is a feeling of intense pleasure or joy. Y'all, I'm mind blown right now. If I was on live radio, the alarms will be going off around the station for the silence. Let's have a moment of silence for the definition that I just read for the first time ever in my 35 years of living. The rapture, 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 rapture means a feeling of intense pleasure or joy. This makes sense because shout out to our sister Anita Baker, caught up in the rapture of love. Okay. Nothing else can compare. When I feel the magic of you. What are we, y'all? Oh my gosh. I did not expect to get this surprise myself. Did y'all know what rapture meant? Like, aside from the spiritual biblical term, did y'all know what rapture meant? I did not know until right now. I am today years old in this moment in second finding out the definition of rapture. a feeling of intense pleasure or joy. How in the heavens has this term, for biblical use, we get it, but the fact that this term, by very definition, is a feeling of joy and pleasure, intense joy and pleasure, the state of mind resulting from feelings of high emotion and joyous ecstasy, has been what, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank because I cannot believe this is what the word means. Knowing that this is the word, the term, and the definition and expression of emotion, but the biblical term and what people now associate the rapture or a rapture up with is negative, is punishment, and is fear based. It is not joyous. When people talk about the rapture, y'all, nobody tells you, at least nobody told me, that this was going to be great, that this was going to be joyous, that we were going to have a good time. If you got raptured up, it meant that everybody else that didn't was finna be suffering and going straight to hell. Do not collect $200. Okay. All right. The monopoly of heaven. Do not collect $200. Just go straight to hell. And to know that the term in itself is one that is actual pleasurable and joyful, intended for, rather, but that's not how it's presented. And it is so much so not presented that way, to where it's taught almost as if though you should fear the rapture. Like, you shouldn't be excited about it. It is no joy in it, because once it happens, that means God has decided to rest its judgment on the world, and only those who are going to make it into heaven and have lived a pleasing life and who are saved and covered by God's blood in covenant with God will go to heaven. That is not a joyous event. I grew up fearing the rapture, as our viewer here wrote in. She did as well. And at 44 years old, you are afraid to live. Did you just hear what I said? Because, see, I think it's important that we understand that what I read from you, thank you so much for writing it. I need people to get it, because this is where the critical thinking comes in. You expressed a fear of dying, but baby, you are actually afraid to live after deconstruction. This is what pisses me off. This is what grinds my gears. Okay? This is what butters my toast. Mm-hmm. Yes, this is what powder sugars my donuts and my funnel cakes. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that the mindset, the practice, and the belief system associated with the principles and the values and the teaching of scripture actually keeps you in bondage from enjoying the very principle that allows you to exist, life. Life. And I get it that scripturally it says, I come that you may have life and life more abundantly. But in this life, as a believer, people are not allowed to actually enjoy the life that you gave allegedly more abundantly. It's actually a life sentence. It feels as if, though, it's a declaration of dependence, not independence, but it's a declaration of dependence. I'm only depending on you to save me. I'm only depending on you to free me. I'm only depending on you to deliver me. I'm only depending on you to heal me. I'm only depending on you to grant me the freedom and the liberty to actually have anything that you say I need. But what about me living? What about me existing? What about me finding pleasure and ecstatic joy on this earth will equate to me being okay with the rapture coming? Everybody seems to only be living for their for their dismal eradication. Y'all literally are waiting to be eradicated. Y'all are waiting to be deleted. I personally, I personally never could reconcile the rapture. I did a video on it a couple of years ago. here on YouTube. I never personally could reconcile the rapture because in my mind, after watching the Left Behind, movies and series back in the day, seeing clothes, sitting in chairs and cars crashing and people just being, disappeared. People being disappeared from the earth. The concept was fear. Even then, as a child, it did not make me want to live right. It just made me afraid. I didn't get it. I didn't understand the concept of what was being explained or what was being presented as my possible outcome if I did not choose God. And then as an adult, I also chose not to subscribe to the rapture teaching because there were never a lot of answers. It was just reading, Revelation. I still have not finished the book of Revelation. I don't think I ever started. Let's be clear. I've only read or heard the scriptures that have ever been called out at church. Even when I was in church all of those years, I was not any kind of Bible scholar. Like, that was not a desire of my heart to read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. That's not me. I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl now. I wasn't that girly then. And I'm not sad about it. And I'll tell you why. Because it probably would have done more harm than good for me to get that deep into it. Because at least now I really do be cherry picking. When I want to use certain scriptures to encourage myself, I do. Just like if I want to use certain proverbs to encourage myself, I do. And if I want to use certain motivational quotes and inspiration dialogue to encourage myself, I do. Because I see it all for the same purpose, the edification of self in order to get to where you desire to be. And if you want to govern yourselves accordingly to some kind of standard value system or principle, then you'll do that based off of what your belief system is. But if your core foundation at the very base is in fear, anything else presented to you is not going to benefit you. If everything and anything that you think and you say and you do is rooted in fear, nothing else that you try to introduce to that is going to benefit you, because your core principle and belief is already a block. It blocks you from seeing light. It blocks you from seeing good. It blocks you from experiencing anything that would be different from what you believe you deserve, right? Or B is already entitled to. Like, no, I can only expect this because this is what I've been given. This is what I've been told. This is what I've been shown. But the crazy part about it, y'all, the crazy part about this is that you're an elder's daughter. So if you feel like this now, after deconstruction, post deconstruction, removing yourself, and you used to deal with the thoughts of self deletion, right? But now you don't have that battle going on. Now you just fear life, period. You're waiting for the end. Let me tell you that the best thing that you can do, the best thing that you can do, probably for 30 days would have to be to me, what I would choose to do would do, I would do as many joy bringing, life giving experiences as possible. Moments that really make me say, wow, like, whoa, I can't believe I did this. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I said that. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I went there. Oh my God, I can't believe I ate that. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I bought that. I would have as many as those moments for 30 days straight as possible, like impromptu, scheduled, unexpected, intentional. I would make it a life's mission for an entire 30 days to do things that if I wouldn't have done them, right? I would have just been stuck in the unknown, the fear of the unknown. But doing them will extract so much pleasure, so much joy, and it to me, it will take away the sense of what you could no longer have or where you could no longer be, and replace it with everything that you are and all that you have done in spite of what the fear used to be for you. Because, see, what I don't think people understand is that if you've built a foundation on the same fear, the same pressure, the same punishment, the same abuse, the same bondage, It's difficult to get out of it unless you jilt yourself from it. You have to do something so drastic. You have to do something so dramatic that's not negative, but that actually takes you out of that comfort zone of dysfunction and trauma and reintroduce a new way of living so that your mind starts to adjust to the normalcy of things that don't actually hurt you. Fearing death hurts you. It steals your joy of what you currently are doing, which is living. When I look at my children on a regular basis, y'all, I am constantly reminded that their life is not bad. And it's not bad because of the life that me and my husband provide for them. I constantly liken my existence to God's. I constantly, because it's a mindset, I have taken myself from trying to survive in this world to the fact that I am in such a position as a creator in this world that there are other humans' lives that are directly affected by my existence. I am God to my children, period. So I can't fear death. I can't fear the unknown because I have to always know. I have to know when they don't know. I have to see what they can't see. I have to understand what they could never. I have to be able to conceptualize and plan and execute what they don't even have the capacity to imagine. That's a God like existence and energy in someone else's experience. But before I could take that place and position in their lives, before they were born, I had to see myself in their position for myself. I had to determine that when I had children, I wasn't going to bring them into a situation that they would be deprived. I didn't want them to be a burden. I wanted them to be a blessing. I didn't want there to be any lack or insufficiency. I always wanted there to be more than enough. I didn't want their lives to be the bane of my existence. I wanted them to be my best friends. I wanted to be intentional about the environment that they were raised in. So much so, we jilted our lives from Mississippi with the perfect house, the perfect jobs, the great friends, and moved and started all over again and ruined our credit to go to Texas. Now, where we are flourishing, thriving, and doing extremely well. Not because what was in our past was bad, but because I knew what was in our future would be greater and better. I knew that where I was it wasn't forever. It was just for now. It was just for then. Where you are right now is not forever. But you have to do something so drastic. You have to do something so different that it shifts and changes everything you used to think in any space that it used to take up that keeps you in bondage to your own life. You are afraid to live. You are not afraid of dying. You are afraid to live because that choice was taken from you through your choice in religion, through your choice of Christianity, through your life and upbringing and foundation of holiness. That wasn't given to you. Your freedom and your liberty and your rights were only in Christ. No. The sad part about that is that the story ends with me getting raptured up. Really? I'm not trying to be rude, but think about all of the greats, all of the pastors and the bishops and the reverends and all of these prophets and evangelists who died way before the rapture. Were they not connected or in tuned? Did they not realize and know that they wouldn't see it either? Or was their death their rapture? Let's start asking the right questions and stop fearing the wrong teaching. Because, see, the right questions now for me will allow me to ask somebody, you fear the rapture, but you got high blood pressure. You fear the rapture, but you got diabetes. You fear the rapture, but you got a failing heart. You fear the rapture, but you have cancer. You fear the rapture. See, I am a realist because then I start to question, is it this that you are afraid of or reverence and respect and look forward to? Or is it this that you're ignoring and not taking care of that's going to take you out before God could ever return to come get you? You can die in your belief, or you can live because you choose to no longer let that belief keep you from living. I'm not living to be afraid. That is not the mission. That is not the move, ma'am, sir. No, 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 no. I am incapable of walking around afraid. I am incapable of walking around consumed by what might happen. I know what is happening today. I'm going to go about my day. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to spread light. I am going to be loved. I am going to enjoy myself. If things happen, if challenges arise, I have everything I need on the inside of me to handle it, take care of it, and overcome it. Point blank, period, at the end. There is no rapture that is negative. There is a rapture that is all about ecstatic joy, a intense feeling of pleasure. Yes, yes, baby. Rapture me today. I have been raptured today, caught up in the rapture today, changing the mindset in the narrative. So I invite you to not fear. Don't worry about dying, baby. Don't worry about that. I don't even want to focus on that. You want to know why? Because that's had you in a chokehold for years. It's time for something else. It's time for your neck to get massaged. If you've been in a chokehold, that's aggressive. A chokehold is depressive. A chokehold is oppressive. A chokehold is not nice. A chokehold is not kind. A chokehold is not loving. Okay, baby, it's the massaging your neck for me. Okay, massage your neck and relax. Massage your neck and adjust. Massage your neck and chill. Okay, your life should be the central focus. Your joy should be the central focus. Your peace should be a priority. A priority. That which was robbed and taken from you right now in these days and in these times should be what you seek to magnify. I think I've said it before, and I heard for the first time, I think this is like in 2021, for the first time, I never heard anybody break down the word disease the way that I heard Louise Hay do it. Louise Hay is she was an author, but she was also a speaker and a spiritualist, a spiritual, person and figure, kind of like Abraham Hicks, like your Wayne Dyers. Oh my gosh, the list can go on. Love all of these people that I just named too, okay? But I heard Louise Hay say in 2021, and she wasn't alive then, but it was a video that I watched on YouTube where she talked about disease. And disease is just dis-ease manifesting in the body. You're at dis-ease about something and it manifests through disease. Like anything that you can be diagnosed with, anything that you take medication for, anything that that's known in your family, that is a disease due to dis-ease. If it's in your mind, if it's in your body, your intestines, your whatever, your pancreas, those things manifest, and manifestation is nothing but the clear presentation of something to the outer, like the outer body, the outer world. Manifestation is just a clear view and description of being able to tangibly see something that was once not able to be seen. A clear, open, direct, tangible manifestation. Clear on the outside now. Clear to be seen, clear to be addressed, clear to be acknowledged. We can see it. That's a manifestation. Okay? When it's internal, nobody knows about it. It's still suppressed. That's not a manifestation. An outward manifestation is a representation of something due to there being an expression, there being action taken, or whatever, in plain view. Okay? So when you think about disease in your body, you struggle mentally, you're scared of this, you're fearing that, you're worried about this, you're stressed about that, and then that manifests in your body, that manifests in your mind, it manifests in your heart. You end up somewhere with brain cancer, you end up somewhere with heart disease, or with a heart problem, or a breathing issue. That is something that over time, I'm not saying completely exactly directly that this is what happens for sure, but usually people have problems and issues that are directly correlated with something that they stress about, worry about, or fear consistently. Like, it just can be that. Very simple. And you don't want that to be your truth, but you don't know any better. You haven't been presented another way. You weren't given the freedom or even the knowledge and resources and education to know to do something different. I tend to not dwell on certain things being a possibility for me because I understand that if I do that and then there's an outward manifestation of the dis-ease about it, then I would know, dang, I was actually focused on that so much so that it turned up in my real life experience. I don't focus, I don't have dis-ease. And let me give you more of examples. I don't have a dis-ease about my children's safety. I don't. I don't have a dis-ease about that. So I don't have to worry about there ever being a outward manifestation of that dis-ease because I'm not stressed or worried or doubting it internally that someone's going to do something to them or that this is going to happen or they're going to be exposed to this or this is going to be their plight in life. That's not a dis-ease point for me. I don't have a dis-ease about my internal organs or something that my mother may deal with or my grandmother may have suffered from or my dad may have that one day all day and they say that I'm pre-exposed to this or this is something that runs in my family. That ain't my business. That's your diagnosis, not mine. You may say I need to get tested for this because this runs in your family, baby. What they say, it ran out when it hit me. It ran out when it got to my name because I don't have dis-ease about it. So I can't expect, worry, or even think that I would ever be diagnosed with the disease of it because I don't have dis-ease about it. You don't have to have dis-ease about life. You don't know why? Because you don't have to worry about death. Be at ease with your life. Don't have dis-ease about your life. Because then that's when things can manifest inwardly and outwardly that would lead to the very things you're fearing. And that is not fair because little do people know that taught you growing up, that spoke in your life growing up, that were around you growing up. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know the seeds they were planting and watering in your life. But now you're here at 44 years young. And instead of enjoying where you are, you fear that you will no longer be able to enjoy anything about what you've accomplished, about anything that you've done thus far, about how far you've come, how much work you've done to deconstruct from what used to have you in bondage. It's still controlling you. It's still holding you captive. That ain't fair. That ain't right. And that is not going to be your plight. 30 days. 30 days. Do something. I don't care if it's as simple as using DoorDash and you never have. I don't care if it's as simple as getting a lift and you never would have. I don't care if it's you using Instacart for groceries and you ain't never seen the app. I don't care what it is. Do something different for 30 days, something that makes you feel good, something that you never thought you would, something that you never was aware that you could. Do it for 30 days. Because see, at this point, you have to be willing to rewrite your life. You got to be willing to do it. Like, who else going to be the author? I get it. They said in church, God is the author and finisher of our faith. Baby, step into your place. Like I told you, I operate every day from a God-like space because I realize that my children's life is only as good as my life is, as I present it to them. And I know that they're at the mercy of whatever me and their father subject them to. I'm not subjecting them to no trash. I'm not subjecting them to any fear. I'm not subjecting them to punishment. I'm not subjecting them to lack. I'm not doing it. So become the author and the finisher of your own story. You can do it. Write something different. Choose another ending, baby. Alternate endings be at the end of DVDs all the time. Okay? Pick how you want this to play out. It don't have to be the way that you just described it in this email. This is not your concern. This is not your focus. This is not for you. There is something better. We ain't got to go into the rainbow terms at the end of the rainbow, a pot of gold, none of that. You are not a leprechaun, okay? You are a human with feelings and with purpose. And that's what you need to focus on. The work that they did back in the day to rob you of the life that you are meant to enjoy right now. I hate that that had to happen. But thank God for resources and platforms like this where someone can openly express to you that they too used to have a fear of the rapture. But here we are today learning what rapture actually means. And nobody ain't ever told me that it was going to be a good, glorious, great day when the rapture came. It was always going to be because God was coming to get you, he was going to tear it up for the rest of us. And that don't sound good to me. I've never felt as if, though, oh, when the rapture comes and takes some of us, everybody else is going to suffer. That is a bomb day. No, it was always associated with fear. It was always associated with pain. It was always associated with pressure. It was always associated with punishment. It was always associated with fire, hell, brimstone, 666, the mark of the beast, not able to get food, gathering in basements to pray and to read the Bible, children's turning on parents and snitching them out and getting them killed. This is what was going on in my head, y'all, as a child about the rapture. And here we find out today what the rapture really means. Well, I'll be damned. All I know is that You have the options to no longer be at dis-ease with your life. And this is the good news. This is the good news. I know they say that the Bible is the good news, but baby, it has actually brought more pain than it has pleasure. It has actually brought more fear than it has freedom. So today, since you've deconstructed and you stepped outside of those bounds, you stepped outside of those boxes, and you stepped away from the bondage, we're going to truly frolic freely in liberty. Okay. All right. Let me know how that goes for you. I would love to hear it. If you have any questions about what that could look like more thoughts on what you could do for 30 days, I would love to share some examples and samples. I don't know where you live or what you do, what your regular routine may be, but I really do encourage you to shake it up and do something different. Give yourself some new experiences. Allow yourself to just see life through a new lens, one that is clear and clean. Like I see like a vision right now of like when I have my phone and I'm recording something, but the screen has like a little fog on it. It ain't completely foggy, you can still see me, but it ain't as clear as it could be. Wipe it off on your shirt, right? Okay, so wipe off your life on your shirt, okay, like a phone that need the camera to just be cleaned, and look at life with a new perspective, with a new outlook. And I truly believe that you will get a refreshing result from that, because above all else, that is what you deserve. It really is. It really is. And nobody has the right to rob anyone of that joy and that peace that comes with just living a life that you love and you're excited to embark upon every day. Even with the challenges, you always have what you need to overcome and succeed. I do believe that. All right, if you guys have enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel. I would love to add you to my 2 cents crew. If you have any questions, comments, topics, or suggestions that you would like for me to cover, send them to me at my2centmatters@gmail.com. That's my2centmatters with an S at gmail.com. Until next time, I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.